Hi, everyone. So now what we're going to be working on is your supporting arguments. This is a document that you have or should have for today. You're going to be doing a few things on here. You're going to be collecting your quotes that you've used or that you've put onto your note cards. You're going to be organizing them a bit. So first, put your name in the top. Then describe your topic in 5 words or less here. So remember, I'm doing mine on Parkinson's. So I'm going to go with effective support for people with Parkinson's disease. That's just like the general idea of my topic, okay? Which question associated with the issue are you interested in answering? Which viewpoint do you most strongly agree with? Okay, so this is where you're going to go back and look at that original sheet where there's the 2 sides that you could pick from, okay? The viewpoint that you agree with the most is what you're going to write here, okay? The one, you can copy and paste it from that document, you can type it. This is also basically your thesis statement, okay? But, so I'm going to make mine up since mine wasn't on the sheet, and I'm just going to say Parkinson's disease can be treated with exercise in addition to medication. Boy, spelling isn't my thing today. All right, so let's pretend that that's what mine is. Maybe which question associated with the issue. So, does exercise provide a valid support for people with Parkinson's disease? So, really important to note, this space right here is a question. Down here is a statement. I was you, would do this backwards. Put the viewpoint that you've decided on here. So I'm saying Parkinson's disease can be treated with exercise in addition to medication. So what would be the question that's being answered? I'm going to kind of go backwards. So the question is, does exercise provide valid support for people with Parkinson's disease? And the answer to that would be yes, it can be treated with exercise in addition to medication. You see how the question that you have up here should be answered in your statement right here. This statement right here is going to wind up being your thesis statement. Now, you have all of your cards in front of you and you've read all of your articles and you've selected your side. So I want to prove that Parkinson's disease can be treated with exercise in addition to medication. And I have to have 3 arguments to support that. So argument 1 will go here. Argument 2 will go here. Argument 3 will go here. And for each of my arguments, I'm going to have to include a quote from the article. So the 3 arguments I came up with based on my research are: exercise in the early stages of Parkinson's disease slows the progression. So I'm going to take that and I'm going to put it here. Okay. Now, the way I found that is by looking at all of my cards. And I found all my cards and I split them into 3 piles. And one of my piles was all about this. Another pile of my note cards talks all about how it provides exercise, specifically boxing, provides support with mobility and balance for people with Parkinson's disease. So exercise, specifically boxing, provides support for mobility and balance for people with Parkinson's disease. So I should have several cards that have information that support this idea of mobility and balance. Okay. My final argument was that exercise assists with mental health for people with Parkinson's disease because it's a very lonely, socially isolating disease and you slowly deteriorate. So having your mental health lifted up is something that is necessary. So exercise supports the mental health of a person with disease. Okay, so I have information about mental health as well. This is what we're doing here, okay? So now I'm going back to my first one. Exercise in the early stage of Parkinson's disease slows the progression of the disease. So I'm going to go to my first article, which we've looked at before. This is the one about boxing. And I like this statement right here. It says, it is possible that high-intensity aerobic exercises incorporating boxing could be most beneficial in the early to middle stages of the disease progression and less appropriate after the many years or at the end stage when which sometimes focuses on palliative care. So I've got this highlighted already. All I have to do is click on this button right here. It's going to copy it for me. So that copied it. Got a little check mark. I go back here. I'm going to put the direct quote here. So now I have the quote. Is this fact or opinion? This is a fact. And the reason this is a fact is because this was taken from a scientific article. And this is what they're proving in their article. Now, which article number was it? Because remember, we numbered all of your articles for you. So this is article number 1. Now, do you see how this is green at the top? What I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that I highlight that card in green because now I'm going to be able to find all of the things that I need, okay? I'm going to go back to that article and let's see. I found something else. Boxing brings an advantage of being a community-based, accessible, and a social form of vigorous and sustained exercise. So I'm going to take that. I'm going to copy that quote because that supports this idea of the mental health. It's a community activity, that it's easily accessible, it's social, right? And it's also helping them. So this is a fact, and this is from article number 1. So I'm going to put article 1 there again. I'm going to go back. I'm going to find one more. Let's see. I think I had something about mobility I was going to grab. Maybe not. Okay, here we go. This right here supports my other idea. It provides support for mobility and balance. Look at that. Now, this one was specifically about boxing. Okay, this is a fact, and this was from article 1. So with my article number 1, I found information for all 3 of my topics. You might do that, you might not, okay? You don't want to use one article for one topic, another article for another topic. You want to switch it up, okay? So ultimately, what you're going to have when you finish this assignment, your name, your topic, you're going to have your thesis statement written right here. You're going to have the question that it answers right here. You're going to have 3 arguments, and you're going to type them in the top, argument 1, 2, and 3. You're going to have 3 quotes under each one. I know I only have one, but if I was going to continue this activity, I would take my second article, my third article, my fourth article. I would find quotes from all of them, okay? You're going to put them in. Notice that this one's a direct quote. This is a direct quote. This says paraphrase a quote from the article, okay? So if I was going to paraphrase something, that means I'm going to say it in my own words. And the way I like to tell you to do this is read a quote for yourself, then put it away so that you're not looking at it, and type, if you had to restate it to somebody, what would you say? That's probably the easiest way for you to paraphrase something. You're giving me all the information, but the ideas are not your own. The ideas came from something else. That's what a paraphrase is. And you do cite those whenever you're writing, okay? So you're going to give a direct quote, and a paraphrase. And you're going to do that for all three, okay? All three arguments. Once you finish this, you have finished with your supporting arguments. You need to make sure that you have used all of your articles, all three, some of you have 4 articles that support your topic here.